Olive Gardner. Ah, madone. What can even be said of these Italian legends? To encapsulate the lives of these persone rispettate is difficult as describing the depth and beauty of all Italian culture in just one phrase. Mamma mia! The delicious food, the majesty of Italy's land, and the beauty of its people are all captured in the sincere sounds of the band. Olive Gardner is not just an Italian band, they are Italy. As Italian as lasagna pie. Much like any great Renaissance man, Olive Gardner have lived full human lives. Lives of strife, of love, and of transformation. Let's take a long and loving look back on the history of the band that could build Rome in a day if they wanted to. This is the story of Olive Gardner. Olive Gardner is Joco Salomon and Alexis Birdisto, the Sacco and Vanzetti of Italian music. The bastard son of Riz Ortolani and Christopher Adone, joined the band shortly, but left to smoke weed in the hills of Napoli with Dario Argento. The sounds of Olive Gardner can only be described as perfection. Alexisto Birdisto was first built as a wooden marionette by Giappetto in the city of Florence. After being accidentally brought to life by Leonardo da Vinci in an extremely ill-conceived attempt to build a working helicopter, Birdisto enjoyed his life as a young puppet in Renaissance-era Florence. The first clues of Alexisto's artistic ability happened in his youth. During this time, Birdisto aided Michelangelo with the Sistine Chapel, as hanging from the ceiling was an easy and safe thing to do for an Italian puppet boy. He spent time touring with Stromboli's Puppet Theater, then lived as a donkey on Pleasure Island before getting swallowed by a whale. After being rescued by Christopher Columbus, he was finally transformed into a real boy and headed to Rome to make his fortune. Joco Salomon was born to a poor Sicilian family in Napoli. The child of simple farmers, he had 11 siblings, only 3 of whom were donkeys. Joco loved his family, carrying gallons of wine and water up the hills of Napoli to hydrate his beloved Mama, Papa, Luciano, Maria, Fabrizia, Paolo, Giorgio, Vincenzo, Lisa and Canada, Tony, Dominique, Igor, and Stella. His first donkey brother, Dominique, got a job working for Santa because of his ability to climb the hills of Italy, a feat reindeer rarely accomplished. This was huge news for the Salomon familia. Joco would recall memories of walking his brother Dominique through the hills and vineyards of Bacoli. Sadly, Dominique met a brutal end when famous Italian pizza maker Gualterio Marchesi butchered Dominic to use his donkey meat on his pizza. The grief that consumed Joco was unbelievable. Later, this pain and loss would influence the song Dominic the Donkey, which Joco wrote in memory of his late brother. After rising to the rank of capo in the local mafia, he was forced to flee north after an incident involving a rival familia's donkey. He then sought a blessing from the Pope to dispel the evil eye and subsequently underwent a religious conversion. He was then transformed into a real boy and headed to Rome to take up a position as a cardinal. The pair first met in 1945, where they both shouted, "Shoot him in the balls, Mamma Mia," while witnessing the execution of Benito Mussolini. Later that same day, they became the first people in Italian history to make music, which had previously been illegal. The duo's first brush with fame came in 1947, when they stole a bicycle belonging to Vittorio De Sica, inspiring one of the most enduring and beloved entries into the canon of world cinema. This brought them to Censita, where they embarked on a long career scoring such classic films as Il Buono, Il Brutto, Il Cavito, and Canzoni in Bikini, under the pseudonym Ennio Morricone. The pair continued from there, defining and cementing the sounds of Italy into the tomes of time. After moving to Calabria, the duo continued to profit off their film scores and ties to the Sicilian mafia. While many members of the Sicilian family had fled the motherland during Mussolini's war on the mob, Olive Gardner were unmoved, and their persistence would pay off. After the fall of Italian fascism, Olive Gardner and the family in which they operated within became more powerful than ever before. Under the name Ennio Morricone, the duo continued to release music. Songs like Nesium Durma, That's Amore, Dominic the Donkey, Sapporo di Sale, O Sole Mio, Hey Mambo, and Quando Sono Solo would go on to become the standard of the country and its people. Even before Alexisto and Joco had formed the stunning Olive Gardner, they were defining the sounds of Italy. Joco joined Italian thrash metal band Bulldozer in 1986, but sadly had to leave the group after shooting 12 people dead in northern Italy. While he was never caught by the Polizia Stradale, Joco felt it was best to escape back to the hills of Naples. There he took up a career of a cellar hand, crushing grapes and moving barrels. This continued for a number of years. Alexisto had begun a career as a Gretta cheesemaker. As a cheesemaker, Alexisto had no lack of accomplishments. Besides his beautiful Gouda, Alexisto is best known for inventing Parmesan and ricotta. In the cheese world, he is simply referred to as Il Grande Formaggio. One night, Joco and Alexisto had gotten drunk while driving a ferry in the year of 2012. The group had too much wine and had felt like fools, as if they had had too much pasta fazool. This resulted in the band crashing the ferry into an underwater rock off of Isola di Giglio, Tuscany, killing 32. In March of 2020, during the beginnings of the COVID pandemic, Olive Gardner brought forth the beginning of a new era in Italian music. Their first work, Italian Music No. 1, breathed new life into a musical scene that was so close to fading away. The traditional folk music of Italy had found a new generation. Since those beginnings, the group have only continued their musical legacy with Italian Music No. 2, as well as updated versions of their earlier works. Ah, madone. Who knows what the future will hold? Olive Gardner has their entire lives ahead of them. Their work has captured the hearts and imaginations of the Italian people. There is no doubt, with the furtherment of time, Olive Gardner will go on to make Italy a nation of great art and history. Until then, ciao.